This is a report that the Urban Land Institute creates every year. They're kind of like the research institution of what makes cities work.
And I think what it also does, it gives kind of a roadmap, almost like a rating sheet of not just the cost of the real estate in the market, not just the population growth, but it adds in the context, the macro factors. It adds in the context of which cities have done it right to sort of maximize their resources as well. And you get this comprehensive list, and it's one that key leaders in our industry look at, pay attention to. To get on this list is a big deal. It is a huge feather in your cap to be on this list.
Okay.
And where you are on this list really matters. It is certainly across the country to put this together, and they do it once a year, and it really matters. So us everyday investors can use this, which call it the big industry leaders use, and you can better formulate your plan, your strategy for where you should be investing in single family rental properties.
Got it. Let's put the list up here, right? I think it's 70 markets that make the list. And then they rank them in these different categorizations, right? Like from backbone, which is just like your working city, to niche, which is like cities that have like unique qualities to them, to the establishment, right? You're going to see the biggest name cities here that have been around for a long time. And then there's magnets, these high growth cities that are really bringing people here. And within the magnet cities is the super Sunbelt, the 18-hour cities, and the supernovas. GC, the supernovas are classified by their explosive growth potential, by their economic diversification, by their migration patterns, and by their governmental and infrastructure support that is in place to keep these things growing. Basically, these supernova cities are the ones that are poised for the most rapid growth in the next immediate window, is the way that I see it. Is that about accurate in your estimation?
Yeah, absolutely. When you hear supernova, you hear it's about to explode,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, I think it's fitting here, and it's fitting to think about some of these cities that we have talked about already being successful as exploding, right?
Yeah.
Austin, we featured recently on the State of Downtown report for the city of Austin. They recently claimed that they are an 18-hour city. And you think of other very successful downtowns like Nashville. We reference Nashville a lot.
Yep.
So to be included in that group is really important for Jacksonville. It's a wonderful accomplishment for our city. And then to also see others that maybe have been one step farther or three steps farther, like Austin and Nashville have, I think it even gives us more excitement to know that we don't have to blaze a new path here, right? We can follow the same path that some of our friends, Supernova City friends, have already been following and seen great success.
Yeah, agreed. The list of supernova cities are Austin, Boise, Nashville, Raleigh-Durham, and Jacksonville, right? And I did a little bit of research with my friend, ChatGPT.
Yes.
And it helped me summarize what is so attractive about these cities. What is the supernova designation, right? So I'm just going to kind of read this off. Austin is a tech hub, right? It's got strong growth in tech industries with major companies like Tesla and Oracle establishing offices. It's got high immigration, right? This like influx of talent to Austin. And it's got cultural appeal, right? Like I was just there last week, vibrant art scene, music, food scene, really cool spot to be at. Then there's Nashville, right? There, healthcare and entertainment has a really strong presence, right? The music industry drives economic growth, population growth. It's had continuous migration, particularly from higher cost cities, and the infrastructure expansion. It's really increased investments in transport and housing. Then there's Raleigh. Raleigh's known for their research triangle. Growing tech sector and manufacturing base help drive job growth. A lot of IBM is there, right? Like a lot of old school industries that are established here that need that mix is there. Immigration also has been attracting people from expensive Western cities. Quality of life, scenic outdoors, small town, feel combined with urban amenities. And then there's Boise, right? Boise's actually has a surprisingly good tech and manufacturing scene as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of immigration as well. It's close to the west, right? So people are going a little bit further inland. Beautiful mountainous area. Quality of life because of the scenic outdoors, small town feel as well. And then there's Jacksonville. Look how boring Jacksonville sounds. Logistics and finance. A growing logistics hub and rising financial services sector contribute to job growth, right?
Yeah.
Military presence, strong economic impact from military bases and defense-related activities, and affordable real estate. Lower property costs compared to other Florida metros and other cities with as much upside make it attractive for investment. What do you think when I say that, Greg?
Which one of these is not like the other?
Which one of these is not like the other? Yeah, where does your head go with that?
I mean, all those things are boring and unsexy, and some of the things that I love the most about Jacksonville real estate, because sometimes when you hear things like supernova, you think of what's on the other side of a supernova.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
Which is what?
What is it?
An explosion?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So the fact that we are on the supernova list with the most unsexy characteristics as compared to tech and research triangle and whatnot should tell you something about Jacksonville's strength of the economy. It should also tell you that we are still under the radar. I mean, if you had to name 5 cities out there that are just super successful, Boise would be on that list. Austin would be on that list. Nashville would be on that list. Yeah. Raleigh-Durham, I'm sure, would be on that list.
Yeah.
You ask people going down the street in any other city, you're not putting Jacksonville on that list. So we are completely under the radar. But I did want to point out, we talked about what makes Boise great, what makes Austin great, what makes Raleigh-Durham and Nashville great. We've got those examples. We share them here on the show. The fact that we are #1 for net corporate relocations in the entire country last year.
Yep.
The fact that we have a strong university system. And oh, by the way, we have the University of Florida building a downtown graduate facility here.
Not just a downtown graduate facility, a healthcare tech and fintech AI-powered graduate facility, because University of Florida has the largest public-owned supercomputer in the world.
Absolutely. And nobody knows that. The fact that we have 4 Fortune 500 companies here and we have a fintech presence here. We are so under the radar for fintech.
Super under the radar.
Yeah, we have FIS, which is Fortune 500 company that just built their corporate headquarters after being here for so many years. They built their corporate headquarters here and put their stamp that they're going to be here for a long time in downtown Jacksonville. So I'm excited to be on this list. I think it's really cool to be on this list to not have some of these sexy things. I think is a real attribute, because as these sexy things do come to these cities, it's only going to expand our growth and expand the quality of life for our residents here.
I totally agree, man. So you put some stats to this, right, GC? Like, you put some stats into like comparing these supernova cities right now. Talk me through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started to kind of take that conversation that you were having with me about being in the room. And I said, well, let's just put some data behind. What does that really mean? How do we stack up? And the numbers are really exciting to see from a Jacksonville perspective. Listen, all of these cities are super successful. These are the best and the brightest as far as downtown revitalizations, as far as Urban Land Institute's opinion of a supernova city. But if you can get on this list and you're $100,000 less, like you just said, wow, you are in a real position of strength. So that's what we have here. Between those 5 supernova cities, I listed out median home prices. I also listed out median income. And I listed out population growth.
Yeah, I think for our friends on the podcast, we can just kind of talk about this idea that like Boise's got a median home price of $491,000, $87,000 in median income, a 2.6% rate of population growth. Austin has a $456,000 median home price, $98,000 in median income, 2.9% rate of population growth. Raleigh-Durham, $500,000, $500,000 median home price, $92,000 median income, 2.1% population growth. Nashville has $488,000 in home prices, $81,000 in median income, 1.6% population growth. And Jacksonville has $366,000 median home price. That's the first time we say a 3, like median income of 81,000, right? In the same range as these other median incomes, and a population growth of 2.2%, right in line with these other population growths.
Absolutely. So, again, that same thing. Which of these is not like the other when it comes to median home sales prices? Every other one of these supernova cities is in the medium to high 400,000s or even over 500,000, right? So this concept, if you believe that your money as a real estate investor is best served in the magnet category, and within the magnet category, the supernova section of that category, if you think your money is best served, where should you be putting your money on any of these, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a case to be made for Jacksonville simply because you have a lot of these other characteristics that you get with these supernova cities, and you can get in for a whole lot less. But I also wanted to show median income and population growth because it's not like you're giving up an economic base and median income here.
Yeah.
It's not like you're giving up population growth. You're just able to get in with these other characteristics of supernova cities, but your median incomes are right in line. 81,000 for median income in Jacksonville. I mean, I think that even surprises some Jacksonville folks, right?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So $81,000 median income. That's what we're talking about as far as us being a hidden gem when it comes to tech, fintech, the Fortune 500 companies. The economic job base here is strong, and we have the fastest growing median incomes of any major city in the state of Florida. Nobody knows that. And then population growth as well.
Let's talk median income a little bit more, GC, because to me, this is one of the major ahas I've had since actually moving here, was the idea that I knew I was going to leave Miami to lower my cost of living, right? And increase my quality of life, city to serve.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I would be paying a median income tax, right? Like I thought I'd be paying for that lower cost of living through my ability to not generate income the way that Miami gave opportunities because it was a bigger city. And while I've come here and I've done well as an entrepreneur, you know, I think as an entrepreneur, you know, it's kind of like on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I look at my wife felt like she was at like a ceiling in her career in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Took 1.5 years off to when we came here because, again, lower cost of living allowed us to live on one income for a while.
Sure.
And when she decided she wanted to get back to work 1.5 years later, she returned to the workforce making close to 30% higher salary than what she made in Miami.
I didn't know that. That is so cool, man.
That's real.
And you would not think that story occurred in Jacksonville.
You would not expect that occurred. You would not expect an architect's salary to be 30% higher in Jacksonville than in Miami.
Right.
Fast forward now, 4 years later, she makes 125% more than she was making in Miami. like that's
So
real.
you got your surf basically paid for many times over. You don't have to pay the surf tax. Your surf paid for.
Well, I'm just saying that because number one, obviously she's super talented and I'm really proud of her. And I think she's the best freaking architect in the world. But number two is just this idea that Jacksonville, like job opportunities are super real, right? So like the fact that the median income here is in line with Nashville, while Nashville is, I don't know, 30% more expensive. I'm just doing quick math here.
Mm-hmm.
Does not shock me at all because Miami is like 60% more expensive than here. And I would be shocked if the median income of Miami was much higher than Jacksonville. And by the way, that is all to say that I love the city. I love the opportunity it's given me. But as a real estate investor, to me, I just see like a untapped source of potential, even though I have seen in other cities where I lived in like Miami that real estate prices went up really fast and I was really concerned of whether or not we can keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they've kept up with it by rich people from elsewhere moving there, and it hasn't created a great environment to live in Miami for people that are from there. That's one of the reasons I left. Whereas here in Jacksonville, what I see is a city that's growing, real estate prices that are going up, salaries that are going up in accordance to it. People can still afford their life, which means real estate prices are going to continue to go up. And that not only gives me upside, but it also gives me risk mitigation of knowing that I'm investing in a sustainable growth environment.
Yeah, it's a sustainable growth environment poised for additional returns on investment for investors. And the community wins. That's why median incomes going up feel so good, because our residents who are paying rent can continue to afford homes, right? We talk about what an affordable housing and affordable home price affordability challenge we have in this country right now. Well, there's two ways to solve that. It's raise median incomes and it is increase supply. And in Jacksonville, that's what we have the opportunity. And we're already doing both of those.
Yeah.
So those folks who are a part of our community win in this wonderful thing that's going on in Jacksonville, not just us as investors. And I know what I hear from a lot of our clients is they want to know that somebody on the other side is winning too. And so your residents, the community, Jacksonville community is winning as well. And one of the ways to show that is by median incomes going up.
Yeah, 100%. So again, we're looking at these supernova cities. There's a list of 5 decreed by the ULI. It's clear that Jacksonville itself is the most affordable option for all of them and the most under the radar from brand name to begin with.